Colt New Police. The standardization of American law enforcement sidearms began with a decision by Police Commissioner Theodore Roosevelt in 1895. Before this, officers carried an unregulated assortment of personal weapons, lacking formal training or uniformity. Roosevelt mandated the Colt New Police as the official service revolver for the NYPD, a double-action design weighing 16 ounces with a 4-inch barrel. This revolver was chambered for the .32 Colt New Police cartridge, utilizing a flat-nosed 98-grain lead projectile. While the weapon was mechanically reliable for new recruits, its ballistic performance was remarkably poor. The bullet exited the muzzle at a velocity of 700 feet per second, generating only 115 foot-pounds of energy. This was less than 5% of the kinetic energy produced by standard .30-30 Winchester rifles of that era. The lack of stopping power became a critical safety issue during field operations in high-stress environments. Ballistic tests indicated that the slow-moving 98-grain bullet often failed to penetrate multiple layers of heavy clothing. This tactical failure led to the weapon's rapid replacement by more powerful .38 caliber revolvers. The Colt New Police remains a historical footnote as a failed experiment in adopting a small-caliber solution for urban law enforcement. Webley RIC. Moving across the Atlantic, we encounter the Royal Irish Constabulary Revolver, or the Webley RIC, introduced in 1867. This weapon represented a massive leap in stopping power, while New York police struggled with small calibers. The Irish adopted this solid-frame brute, chambered in the formidable 442 Webley. This cartridge featured a heavy 200-grain lead bullet designed with a singular, uncompromising philosophy: one shot to neutralize any threat instantly. The RIC was so effective that its reputation reached the American frontier, where General George Custer famously carried a pair of these Irish revolvers during his final campaigns. Despite being a compact sidearm with a short 4.5-inch barrel, its heavy caliber provided a massive advantage in close-quarters combat. The mechanical simplicity of the gate-loading system meant there were fewer moving parts to fail in the harsh conditions of 19th-century deployments. However, the RIC now exists in the shadow of its successors. As the First World War approached, the British military transitioned to the iconic top-break Webley Mark series, which simplified reloading. This technological shift caused the older, fixed-frame RIC to be phased out and largely forgotten by history. It remains a fascinating paradox. A weapon once trusted by legendary generals, now eclipsed by the very lineage it helped establish. Japanese police revolvers. In modern law enforcement, Japan presents a fascinating contradiction. As a global leader in high-tech engineering, one might expect its police to carry advanced high-capacity semi-automatics. Instead, the Japanese National Police remains committed to the 5-round revolver, a tradition rooted in the post-war era. Following the 1945 surrender, domestic production shifted, leading to the new Nambu Model 60, a compact .38 special caliber weapon. The primary service weapon today is the S&W Model 360J, an ultra-lightweight revolver featuring a scandium alloy frame. Weighing a mere 13.3 ounces, this weapon is designed for constant carry rather than sustained gunfights. While Western police utilize magazines holding 17 rounds, Japanese officers rely on a cylinder containing just 5 bullets, reflecting a cultural philosophy where the firearm is a symbol of authority rather than mass suppression. The snub-nose barrel, typically only 1.87 inches long, makes the weapon easily concealable. Interestingly, the Japanese government orders these specific models in bulk to ensure every beat officer maintains a uniform profile. Despite being viewed as obsolete by international tactical standards, these small revolvers continue to serve silently on the streets of Tokyo. Cobra 38. The era of apartheid in South Africa created a tactical vacuum due to international arms embargoes. Cut off from legendary manufacturers like Smith & Wesson, South African police were forced to commission a domestic substitute. This led to the birth of the Cobra 38, a revolver born of necessity rather than innovation. Engineers attempted to reverse-engineer the classic American K-frame, but the lack of specialized metallurgy resulted in a weapon that felt primitive compared to its Western inspirations. Weighing approximately 2.2 pounds, the Cobra featured a 4-inch barrel and utilized the standard .38 special cartridge. The internal mechanics were notoriously unreliable, often plagued by a trigger pull so heavy it felt like dragging stones through gravel. The Cobra 38 became a symbol of desperate self-reliance, a forbidden firearm produced in isolation where quality was sacrificed for sheer quantity. Officers complained that the cylinder timing would slip after only a few hundred rounds, leading to dangerous malfunctions. As soon as the embargoes were lifted in the early 1990s, the police force purged these weapons almost overnight. They were replaced by high-quality European sidearms, leaving the Cobra to be melted down as a relic of a troubled past. Chinese police revolver, Type 05. In 2005, the Chinese government launched a project to arm patrol officers with a non-lethal philosophy. The result was the Type 05, a 9mm revolver that remains a controversial experiment. To prevent suspects from using stolen weapons against police, the Type 05 fired a proprietary low-velocity round. This specialized ammunition utilized a round-nose lead bullet, producing an incredibly weak muzzle energy of approximately 82 foot-pounds. For perspective, that is less than half the power of a standard .22 caliber target pistol. The fundamental failure of the Type 05 was its attempt to prioritize humanitarian optics over the basic requirement of self-defense, resulting in a weapon that was frequently ignored by criminals. The revolver suffered from a clunky manual safety and an awkward loading mechanism that led to malfunctions during trials. The heavy 3-inch barrel and weight of 29 ounces felt unnecessary for such a low-powered cartridge. By 2014, after numerous reports of the weapon failing to stop attackers, the project was quietly scrapped. Thousands of these humanitarian revolvers were recalled and destroyed, marking the end of a multi-million-dollar failure in ballistic engineering. FN Barracuda, the Belgian giant behind the high power, once attempted to enter the revolver market with the Barracuda, introduced in the 1970s. This was the only revolver FN ever produced, showcasing exceptional engineering through a versatile multi-caliber system. By simply swapping the cylinder, an officer could switch between 9mm Parabellum, 357 Magnum, and .38 Special. This innovation aimed to bridge the gap between European ammunition standards and the American preference for powerful wheel guns. The Barracuda was a robust double-action weapon with a 3-inch barrel, weighing approximately 2.3 pounds. Despite its high quality, it arrived at the worst moment in firearms history. The Wonder 9 revolution was starting, as high-capacity semi-automatics like the CZ75 began to dominate law enforcement contracts. The FN Barracuda became a masterclass in engineering that was utterly crushed by the sudden global shift towards semi-automatic firepower. Because it lacked the high capacity of its rivals, the 6-shot Barracuda saw dismal sales. Only a few thousand units were manufactured before FN abandoned the project entirely. Today, it is remembered as a rare, high-quality failure from a manufacturer that usually never misses. Ruger Police Service 6, India version. In the late 1980s, India placed a massive order with Ruger for their Police Service 6 revolvers. However, the specifications included a bizarre request that defied modern ballistic logic. India demanded the revolvers be chambered for the .3080 rim cartridge, an obsolete round from the 19th century. This caliber was significantly weaker than the contemporary .38 Special targets, firing a heavy lead bullet at very low velocity. The reasoning behind this was a unique approach to security. Indian authorities deliberately chose a nearly extinct caliber so that if an officer's weapon was stolen, criminals would find it impossible to source ammunition on the black market. This tactical decision created a weapon that was functionally modern but ballistically neutered. The revolver maintained the rugged stainless steel construction Ruger is famous for, with a 4-inch barrel and a weight of 33 ounces. While effective at close range, the .3080 rim lacked kinetic energy beyond 15 yards. This strategy successfully limited the utility of stolen firearms but left police with a cartridge that belonged in a museum. Consequently, this Ruger variant has become one of the rarest artifacts in law enforcement history. Dutch police revolver. As we progress into the late 19th century, the Dutch police introduced a revolver that remains a mechanical anomaly due to its bureaucratic origins. Unlike almost any other service revolver in history, this model featured a massive manual safety lever mounted on the side of the frame. This addition was not for accidental drops, but to enforce a rigid, non-lethal escalation of force policy. Dutch regulations mandated a specific loading sequence. The first chamber held a blank. The second contained a tear gas shell, and only the final 3 were loaded with live ammunition. The manual safety was designed to lock the cylinder in place, ensuring an officer didn't accidentally skip to a lethal round during a chaotic confrontation. This heavy, fixed-frame revolver became the physical manifestation of a cumbersome legal protocol, where mechanical complexity was used to compensate for human stress. Weighing over 2 pounds and firing a black powder 9mm cartridge, it was a slow, deliberate tool of the law. Eventually, the impracticality of managing manual safety on a double-action wheel gun led to its retirement. It stands today as a testament to an era when police departments tried to engineer restraint directly into the steel of their sidearms. Smith & Wesson, Model 547. For those obsessed with over-engineered machinery, the Smith & Wesson Model 547 is a legendary mechanical nightmare. In the late 1970s, the French National Police requested a revolver chambered in 9mm parabellum to match their submachine gun ammunition. However, they flatly refused to use moon clips, the metal rings typically required to hold rimless semi-auto rounds. To satisfy this, S&W engineers developed a breathtakingly complex extraction system that eliminated the need for clips entirely. They integrated tiny tensioning fingers made of a specialized beryllium copper alloy into the extractor star. These microscopic springs would snap into the rimless groove of each 9mm casing to pull them out simultaneously. The Model 547 was a masterpiece of Swiss watch precision applied to a service firearm, but its extreme manufacturing cost ultimately doomed the project. Each unit required hundreds of dollars in additional labor just to tune the delicate pins. By the time production stabilized, the French shifted toward semi-automatic pistols, leaving S&W with a high-priced revolver. With a 4-inch barrel and a weight of 34 ounces. It was a fantastic shooter, but a financial disaster. Only about 10,000 units were produced before it was scrapped, becoming a highly sought-after engineering marvel. Smith & Wesson No. 3, new model. In the 1880s, the South Australian Mounted Police commissioned a weapon that blurred the lines between a sidearm and a long gun. This was a specialized variant of the Smith & Wesson No. 3 new model. A top-break revolver chambered in the powerful .44 Russian caliber. While the standard nickel finish and 7-inch barrel were already impressive, the true innovation was a detachable wooden shoulder stock. By sliding the stock into a custom slot on the grip frame, an officer could instantly transform their handgun into a stable, short-range carbine. This hybrid design allowed mounted officers to engage targets with rifle-like precision from horseback at distances reaching 100 yards. The South Australian stock revolvers remained in active service for a staggering 66 years, finally being retired in 1953 after proving their worth in the vast Australian outback. The weapon weighed approximately 3 pounds without the stock, but the added stability made it an unmatched tool for border patrol. It stands as a pinnacle of Victorian-era tactical flexibility, combining the aesthetics of a classic wheel gun with the functionality of a survival rifle. This steampunk relic served through 2 world wars, proving that good engineering transcends generations. Manurhin MR73, Sniper. The French GIGN is among the most elite counter-terrorism units, and their sidearm choice is legendary. While most sniper teams rely on bolt-action rifles, the GIGN developed a specialized sniper variant of the Manurhin MR73 revolver for high-stakes hostage rescues. This heavy-duty wheel gun features an 8-inch match-grade barrel and is chambered in the potent 357 Magnum. To achieve surgical precision, it was outfitted with a Harris bipod and a Bushnell optical scope. This setup allowed operators to neutralize threats with extreme accuracy at distances exceeding 75 yards in confined urban environments. The Manurhin MR73 Sniper remains the only revolver in history officially adopted as a precision marksman tool for elite tactical units, shattering the myth that revolvers are strictly short-range weapons. The gun is built to incredible tolerances, capable of firing tens of thousands of Magnum rounds without failure. Weighing nearly 4 pounds, it offers a level of reliability that semi-automatic pistols cannot match during long standoffs. This sniper revolver was born from a need for total reliability in life-saving situations. Ots-38 Stechkin. The Ots-38 Stechkin is a Russian masterpiece that defies almost every convention of firearm design. Developed for clandestine operations, this 5-shot revolver is completely silent without a traditional suppressor. It achieves this by firing the specialized 7.62mm SP4 silent cartridge. When triggered, an internal piston pushes the bullet out and then seals the gases inside the casing, eliminating muzzle blast. The engineering madness continues. The Ots-38 features a cylinder that swings out to the right, and the barrel is positioned at the bottom to reduce muzzle flip. This silent assassin is also equipped with a built-in laser sight located directly above the barrel, making it one of the most mechanically counterintuitive handguns ever produced. It leaves no spent casings at the scene, as the sealed shells remain inside the cylinder. Weighing nearly 2 pounds, it fires projectiles at a subsonic velocity of 650 feet per second. This ensures the bullet creates no sonic crack, allowing for total stealth. The Ots-38 is the ultimate forgotten law enforcement tool, designed to exist in the shadows.